mostly want to talk about today, because guess what, guys? I was working on my free, I'm going to be coming out with a free content domination social media course. I'm going to make a course that is going to be free 99, and let me tell y'all, it's going to be so valuable. You will have so much gems in one place. You will have workbooks. You'll have action sheets that you can take. Because the thing about me is I'm not going to just teach a lesson and have you guys leave without actionable steps. No, I am going to give you actionable steps. I'm going to give you why this is important, and I'm also going to give you why you should be doing it, because other people on social media are doing it as well. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit more about the mindset aspect of social media. A lot of people fear social media and posting on social media and getting to that next step. So I want to talk about it today. So there's this thing called fear setting. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Tim Ferriss, but he came out with the book, The 4-Hour Workweek. And the concept of it is basically the book, it doesn't really matter what the concept of the book, but basically how to only work 4 hours a week, right? Automate your time and delegate your time and have a 4-hour work week. Do I personally believe it that much? No, I do not. Mostly in the beginning stages of your entrepreneurship journey, your brand building journey, your business journey, that's just not how it works. Like, that's just not how it works personally for me. I've never read the book, so I can't fully place my judgments on it. But the first part of this fear setting, what it's supposed to do as the exercise is it's supposed to pretty much look at your fears and make them not as bad as you think. Because a lot of the times we look at fears and we're like, oh my gosh, this is a huge fear, it's debilitating, and it holds you back. Your fear should not be so like debilitating to you and your desires and your goals that it holds you back for who you want to become. A lot of people have fears of social media. Like, I know for sure one fear that a lot of people have is, what if I get a hate comment? I am the queen of getting hate comments on social media. So let me tell you this, okay? So you will get hate comments. If you're mostly getting on TikTok, be prepared for the hate comments. That's all I gotta say. You also have to see what is actually like, is it actually gonna debilitate you and your business and your brand? And most of the time it's no. We take our fears that are this little, like that actually have this little of a chance of happening, and we make it like an entire football field, when in actuality the chances of those things happening are not there. The first part is it's a 3-page reflection, okay? So if you guys want to take out your notes and actually do write how to do this and how to do this fear setting exercise, it's not only for social media, it's for life. Let's say you fear getting a job. Maybe you fear like actually running a business. You can do this exercise and it will push you to take that next step. The first page of the reflection is, first, you have to define your fear. Define your fear first. What is your fear? What is the worst that could happen if you take action on that fear? What is the worst thing that can happen if you take action on that fear? Maybe my fear is that, people will give me hate comments, right? Get specific and actually write down your worst nightmares when you actually define that fear. What is the worst thing that could happen? Write down what is going to happen if you actually do it. Like, what is the worst fears that you have when you get on social media? Is it that you'll get hate comments? That usually is the first thing that I hear. Like, people are like, or people will see you in your imperfections. Like, what is the fear? Get specific, define your worst nightmares and your worst situations. What is the worst thing that can happen if you post on social media? And then you want to rate that from 1 to 10 for impact. Like, how much will it impact you? Will it impact you at a 1 scale? Will it impact you on a 10 scale when that actually happens, right? Now, the second part of that is, how do you prevent these fears from happening, right? So let's say my example is that I had a fear of actually getting hate messages on social media, right? How can I prevent that from actually happening to me? What specific actions could you take to reduce the likelihood of these situations happening? I'm looking at my screen, by the way, so if you're wondering. But what could you actually do to reduce the likelihood of the situations and that thing happening? So what could you do to reduce the hate comments? Could you block them? Could you go ahead and filter your comments? Could you on Instagram maybe make it where only your followers are the only ones that get to comment? Like, what is it? Because there is a way that you could prevent it and reduce it. Consider the big or small actions that you could take to reduce and prevent your fear from happening. So write your answers on that. So one column is define your fears. Second column is prevent your fears. How can you prevent your fears from happening? And then your third is, if the situation does happen, what would you need to do to get back where you? Third column is repair. How do you repair that, right? Let's say somebody does do a hate comment. How do you repair that, right? Let's say that, your business it's a side hustle that you have and the business does not do as well. How can you repair that, right? Maybe one of the fears for you for operating a business is that, hey, I really don't want to fail. I really don't want to have a side hustle where it doesn't make money. Maybe that's one fear. How can you prevent that fear from happening? Maybe dedicate every single day for work to make sure that you are on your thing, you're on your Zoom, and you are showing up for you and your business. And even if it does happen, let's say that it does happen and your business does not do as well, it does not make money as a side hustle, what can you do to repair that? There are many things that you can do. So what this does is, when we think about fear, we think about problem. But we're not in a solution-oriented type of thinking. And the only way to produce a result or fix a result is to have a solution. So sometimes we sit so much in fear that it debilitates us, when in actuality, we need to be in the mindset of being in a problem-solving mentality. Yes, what action would you take to prevent it? One, I'm assuming, would be the sub only. Yes, exactly. It's not that I had a fear of people coming on here and, saying the negative things. I knew that was going to happen. It's just that I genuinely want to cultivate a space where people are talking about business and are talking about a brand. And if you do want to talk about anything else, then you can do that on literally every other platform of mine, just not this one. But honestly, one thing that you can do is you can make an internal change and you can make a mental change to say, hey, I'm not gonna let these comments tear me down, because it's not just about me at the end of the day. It's about my bigger mission. So I don't care if these comments say something about me, because that has nothing to do with me, right? So you can make an internal change. How can I prevent myself from being so affected and weighed down by negative comments? You can make that internal change too to prevent those feelings. That is one thing. So the first page of your reflection is, you're going to define your fear. You're going to put ways on how you can actually prevent your fear, small and big actions you can take to prevent that fear from actually happening, right? And reduce the likelihood of the situation happening. And then the third column is repair. If the situation does happen, what would you need to do to get back where you are, right? Let's say the situations of the hate comments do happen. Let's say the situations of your side hustle not making money does happen. What would you have to do to get back on track? And we're thinking in a more solution-oriented way, instead of a way that's just like, problem. I have a fear. I have a problem. Instead, we're actually working with our problems. We're doing a little dance with our problems. You know what I mean? Because we're not trying to run away from our problems. We're trying to use them to our advantage. The second reflection is, what might be the benefits of an attempt or a partial success? Okay, so let's say you did try to post every day 3 times a day on TikTok, and that's your fear, is that you are going to get hate comments, right? And that's stopping you from posting 3 times a day, or 1 time a day, or 2 times a day. What might be the benefits of the attempt or the partial success of that attempt, right? So you just have to think, if I posted 3 times a day, right, and I have a business, I have a skincare business, what would be the benefits of of an attempt and partial success? Oh, my business could sell out. I could have a video that goes viral. Thousands of people can recognize my brand, cultivate a community. More people know about my product that is helping people's skin every day. What is the benefits of partial success of you actually doing your fear? Most of the time, it's immense. What is the partial success if you started that side business? I could be making an extra $40,000 a year. Maybe I could pay off my debt, send my kids to private school, go on an extra vacation every year, 2 vacations every year. I could get brand deals. that tends to be so large, it's insane, right? The third one is going to be the most moving one for you. This is the one that's gonna push you to do it all. The reason why is because us as humans, we actually move away from pain more than we move towards pleasure. When we are in a painful situation, we'll do everything it takes to get out of that. Like, the motivation to get out of that is so much stronger usually for humans than going towards pleasure, which is crazy, right? But that tends to happen. The third is, what are the costs of inaction? What is the cost of inaction? What is the emotional cost of inaction? What is the financial cost of inaction? What is the physical cost of inaction, right? Maybe your fear is going to the gym, right? There's people that fear the gym. Like, there's people that fear to like work out at the gym. I've never had that fear before, but I could see why. Like, a good question for this is, what's the cause of inaction? In 6 months, let's say you don't go to the gym and you want to get at a certain point with your body and you just never end up going to the gym. Like, what is the cost of that in 6 months? What is the cost of that in a year? What's the cost of that in 3 years? How will you look? You'll feel even more deeper of this feeling. You'll feel less of it. Like, you'll most likely feel more of this feeling of being unsatisfied with how you look or how you present yourself. So let's say, for a social media sense, you don't post on social media ever, and you have a business and it's not making sales and it is a side business. What's the cost of inaction in 6 months? You're still going to be at no revenue. In 1 year, you're still going to be at no revenue, no sales. People are not going to know you, and people can't flow you if they don't know you. So how the heck are you supposed to do it? How the heck is anybody supposed to know about your product and sell it to anybody if people don't know you? And yes, you could know people like in person, but like, oh my gosh, like, we are in a time like no other where you could literally make a post, 10 million people could see it, because on TikTok, people get 10 million views, and you could sell out in your product. And it could change your life forever. But people don't think about that. They think about, it's fearful for me now, but they don't think about the long term, and they don't think about being solution oriented, right? So this is why it's a very great exercise. What is the cost of inaction if in 3 years continue to not do the things that you said you wanted to do to blow up your business? Don't post. You're scared to show your face. It's gonna be the cost of that. Is your business gonna be more profitable? You're gonna have more revenue or less? And let's say, are you still gonna be in debt because you didn't take your side hustle seriously? What is that gonna look like? Are you gonna be more in debt? Maybe you're gonna file bankruptcy. Maybe you're never gonna send your kids to private school like you wanted them to. Maybe that was a dream of yours, to send them to private school, and now you can't. And I feel like this is the most, again, powerful question to ask. And I honestly should ask this question every single day. What I should do is I should write my schedule, and then I should be like, Olivia, what's the price of inaction? What's the price of not doing the things I said I wanted to do? What's the price of me not working on my business? What's the price of me procrastinating? Oh my gosh, guys, like, raise your hand if you're a procrastinator. Like, the thing about me is I'm very extreme. Like, I'm an extremist. So it's either like I'm very, 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 very focused, or I'm very, very, very distracted. My king says it's ADHD. It could be whatever. But the point is, when I think about when I do procrastinate, what is the cost of me not acting on my goals? What's the cost of me procrastinating and, neglecting my studies, neglecting my self-development, neglecting my business, neglecting the people that are counting on me? That's what I'm going to start thinking about. Like, I'm going to start thinking about that every single day. It really is expensive. It really is expensive to not do the dang thing. And also, you lose confidence in yourself. Every time you promise yourself something and then you break that promise, guess what? You start to your esteem goes down, your confidence goes down. You start to not trust yourself, and you start to think that maybe I can't do it. You go into more of a fear, like whirlwind and tornado. That's why I think that using your fears to empower you and embracing your fears is exactly what this exercise does, and exactly what you guys should do, not only in content, but in life, So again, the first reflection is to define your fears. The second is to prevent those fears. Is what can you do to actually prevent those fears? The third is how can you actually repair those fears if they actually did happen, right? So let's say the fear that you have is going to the gym is a fear, because people genuinely have that. How can you prevent that fear from happening? Maybe you're scared that you're going to use a weight wrong, or you're going to use a machine wrong, and you're scared that, people will look at you. How can you prevent that from happening? Before you go to the gym, go ahead and just watch a YouTube video, watch, or maybe get an app that teaches you about form, that teaches you about like actual movement in the gym, right? A gym program, so it can show you exactly how to do it, so that you don't have to like have your weight fall on your head or have just weird stuff happen to you in the gym. Okay, so that's how you can prevent it from happening. And then let's say that you do have that happen to you. How do you repair that? Let's say that, the fear of you actually stumbling on yourself and making a fool of yourself at the gym does happen. How do you repair that? Pick yourself up, and let's say what might be the benefits at an attempt or a partial success is a second reflection. The benefits of a attempt or partial success is, let's say you do go to the gym and you start going to the gym 5 days a week. Right? You lose weight, you gain the muscle, you have the body of your dreams. You're able to finally just walk in confidence now, like are healthy, like you have less back problems, you're stronger, you're moving more, like you just feel better, your energy's better. What is the benefits of an attempt or a partial success? Right? I'm talking about the gym so much, even though this is a content and online branding one, but this applies for everything now. This is a life thing. The third reflection is, what are the costs of inaction if I don't go to the gym, right? No, but my fear is not going to the gym. So what if I don't go to the gym? Like in 6 months, what will happen if I don't go to the gym? In 1 year, what will happen if I don't go to the gym? In 3 years, what will happen if I don't go to the gym? Keep gaining 5 pounds every year. So if I keep gaining 5 pounds and like I'll gain 15 pounds by the 3rd year. And maybe that's not what you want. You want to actually have a body of your dreams. You want to, walk in confidence and feel like you actually worked for your body. And I'm not saying that, that you have to work out in order to have a beautiful body. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, if you are not feeling satisfied with parts of your life, don't act like you can't change it, because you very much can. So why not take action on that? Why not just strip away those fears and just do the dang thing, honestly. So again, if you want to when I actually do drop this content course, and that is going to be free, then all you have to do is just sign up for it. But if you want to actually get the accountability piece and be surrounded by people that are also on the same journey as you, then just join the success group, my 1% group. It's a group of like-minded people that want to get 1% better, to be part of the 1%. So all you gotta do is DM me the word success on Instagram and join the group, because there's amazing, smart, beautiful people in there. And why not you be the next? Why not you be the next? If you go on Instagram right now and you go to Vogue, you will see that people go to Vogue for the latest fashion and beauty trends. And then if you go to Nike and their Instagram, you get to see and people actually go there to see like high quality activewear to perform at their best. If you go to Whole Foods Instagram, you can see that people go to Whole Foods to get healthy food and live a healthy lifestyle. You can literally see from their content that is their brand and that's what they want to represent. Here's what they actually talk about on social. You would think that, Nike's just going to talk about their Nike shoes, right? Nike's going to talk about their newest drop. Nike's going to talk about their bras or whatever. No, in actuality, if you go on their Instagram, they don't talk about product that much. They don't talk about their business that much. They actually created a theme. They have content pillars. One of the content pillars that they have that I noticed when I went on their page is that they promote an athletic mindset. Having an athletic mindset, and just basically the phrase of just do it. Put in the hard work, push yourself, right, to your limits. Like, they actually preach the athletic mindset. There's quotes on there. There's athletes actually talking on there. So that's one thing that they do post about. The second thing is how to style their pieces, right? So they give like styling tips. That's another content pillar. And then the third thing is how to increase performance. They have athletes talking about how to increase performance, how to be a good athlete, how to actually, perform at your highest potential. Like, they post about that on Nike. They talk about motivation on there. That's the fourth content pillar. And then they also talk about sports and athletes. That's a fifth content pillar. So they literally don't only talk about Nike clothes and Nike shoes and Nike headbands. That's the thing. People think that it's about like talking about like your business and talking about you, when I keep telling you guys that people are on social media for selfish reasons. Like, people are not gonna follow the Nike page if all they promote is Nike. Like, that's cool and all. Maybe there will be people, no lie, because Nike is a huge brand, but they want to create more than that. They want to create an experience, right? So they have all of that because now Nike no longer is a brand, it's just a brand, a shoe brand or a clothing brand, but it's a brand that actually solves the problem. And the problem that they solve is actually to go to Nike to get high quality activewear and to perform at their best. And their Instagram shows that. That's why I'm saying that I don't care if you're a business, I don't care if you're a brand, but you need to actually be solving a problem. And how you solve a problem consistently is honestly have a theme. Have 5 things that you could talk about forever and talk about on your page, because now people can come to you and you can be the hub of information for that, and you can just be like somewhere they can go and they can trust and know and like your content, because they know that you're gonna come and you're gonna deliver something that they can resonate with, okay, that they can actually learn from, that they can be entertained from, that they can be inspired from. I'm not gonna talk about the same things, but I am going to give you new ideas on the same concept, because people say, oh, you already talked about this, you already talked about this, you already talked about this. But if you are not applying the information yet, then you do not know the concept yet. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I've heard this already so many times. Knowing it is different from understanding and applying it. That's what people don't understand. Just because you know something doesn't mean you understand it and you apply it. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. So you need to take the knowledge and actually apply it. Until you actually do it, you don't understand the information. Like, that's the huge shift that I had. I was like, I've heard this, like I've heard this so many times, but until you've applied it and it's become part of your being and you have embodied those principles, you don't understand it. Knowing is different from understanding and applying.